From the mobility class that was put together, we're going to focus on hips. And so working on internal and external rotation, and then get everything open so you're able to get in a good squat position, work through all that stuff. So we're going to start with, and you don't necessarily need to be warm to do this. Don't do it before a workout, especially one with weights. So I want to do this as a thing afterwards, or if you're working out in the evening, do it in the morning. Okay, first thing I want to do, I'm going to get about 2 minutes here, and if you are less flexible, I'll show you from the side. If you're less flexible, you may have feet out further away. If you're more flexible, you'll bring them in. So what I'm going to do is lay everything down. I want to try to keep my hips square and even. So for me, I feel this hip starting to pick up. I'm feeling a lot of this outside internal rotation hip stuff. So I'm just going to flap one side and come to the other. One side, come to the other, and I can feel the hips moving. So I want to keep those nice and tight to the ground. If you can only go this far, that's as far as you go. Okay, and keep going through that. As you loosen up, pull your heels in so you can get a little bit more. But again, if you're out here to start, that's where you're at. That's okay. Again, go through 2 minutes, get nice and loose. You feel that start to burn. After 2 minutes of the internal-external rotation here on your hips, you want to then flip through to what is similar to a pigeon, but I'm not picking up and keeping hips square to the ground. I'm actually going to stay open through here and going to get a backside open if it's tight for you, and then also the glute. So if you are not this flexible, you can do is get towel, pillows, yoga block, whatever, pop that underneath. Just doesn't require as much rotation. So from here, I'm going to hold on, lean forward, and then I'm going to think about pulling up and coming down at the same time. For me, I've got that in my hamstrings. Feels pretty tight. I'm going to come back up and see if I can get a little bit more into that back hip. Hold this for 10 seconds. Then we'll come back down for 10 seconds. Come back up, and I'm doing a little faster than 10 seconds, but you get the idea. And then we'll flip over to the other side. So again, want to stay hips open, and we're trying to get flexibility in there. So I'm going to pull down for 10 and push back for 10. And I feel that back here when I'm up. And when I come down, on the other side I felt hamstring. On this side now I feel my glute. So do both of those a minute per leg. Just get a timer on your. After you've done a minute on that one, start to work on rotation here. So maybe that this is really, really tight for you and you're not able to move at all like me. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, pick that hip up, but I want to come through and back down. So I can only really move keeping my hip there up just a little bit. We'd like to be able to come all the way open. Hips are certainly a problem for me. So this would be good homework. Dropping down, coming up through, dropping back down, coming through. I want to do that on both sides. So from here, I'm trying to pick up while I keep my butt cheek down, but pick up, come right back down. And you'll feel some impingement, pinching right back there. Totally okay. We're just trying to loosen all of that stuff up so that you can be a little bit looser in your squat. Cool down before the next one. I want to come here into this butterfly stretch, just kind of hang out, let everything loosen up, keep pulling back in, do a minute here. So basically everything's for a minute, and again, I'd recommend having a stopwatch or a clock running on your phone for that. Cossack squats, you're going to be shifting from side to side. Want to start pretty wide for you, and there's not one right way to do this. A way that you feel a stretch is the right way to do this. So if you can keep that foot down, this foot down, and come down, and that's a stretch, great. Let's say you need to pick up your heel and you're on your toe over here. That's fine too. I'm going to keep that foot flat. If you need to put hands down for balance, that's okay too. I want to think about coming lower and lower, hang out here for about 10 seconds. Now what I want to do is keep my hips as low as possible, slide over to the side. So I'm coming up just a little bit, slide over to the side, using my hands for balance. You can see this foot's flat. I can go heel up or foot flat. Either way, hang out here for 10 seconds. I want to shift over, again coming out right here, hang out for 10 seconds. If you want to challenge this position, you can pick up a weight. It's going to require a little bit more through your back. Shift through to the other side. So we're hanging out right here. Again, want to get through, hang out 10 seconds here, and then 10 cycles, so 10 per side there. On the Cossack squat, this is going to help us with both balance and flexibility, but freestyle it a little bit. When you're out over here, I want you to stay knee outside. Other than that, if you get more of a stretch, I feel this kind of through my hamstring. With my heel up here, I feel a little more in my hip. Whatever's a stretch for you is useful. Now hanging out here, if it's dropping down, coming to the side, using hands for balance, or if you need to hold on to something in front of you, that's totally cool too. There's no wrong way to do this. You're just spending time in this position is what we want. Runner's lunge. And again, I think I mentioned hips are not my most flexible thing. So in this position, I want to let this outside hip fall away and just kind of hang it out here. I'm going to drop down, see if I can kind of twist hips around, dig in a little more, twist hips around, dig in a little more. What I'd like to do is get both elbows down. I'm not able to do that yet, so hopefully in a month I can. All right, so once I've spent about 30 seconds getting as low as possible, I'm going to add in a twist coming through and then see if I can drop down just a little more. Twist coming through, a little bit more. I want to go through 10 cycles on that. We're going to do both sides. So from here, dropping down, and what you may feel is one side is looser than the other. That's totally okay. So from here, dropping down, after 30 seconds, twist, come back. Twist, come back, keep getting lower and lower. Last thing here, want to get hamstrings loose again, and standing up in the split position, want to hang down. So for me, hanging out right here, palms flat works. Some of you probably can get elbows. So just want to drop down, want to hang out here. You guessed it, over 30 seconds, but about 2 minutes. Starting on duck walks, and you'll see on the sheet that this is attached to. I want to go through a few laps, but there's a bunch of variations for duck walks. So I can start staying planted on my heels, going through duck walks. I can roll through, go through duck walks, put hands overhead, leave them overhead. We can grab a weight, a barbell, all sorts of stuff. So whatever is a useful challenge for you, that's what's going to be useful here. We can even get some thoracic spine. There we go. So we can get some demand in your upper back coming through here. Or hanging out up here. If you've got lighter weights, maybe think about holding one of these weights and going through duck walks. Right here, go through 50 feet one way and switch hands, go through 50 feet the other. Again, this is something that the more you do, the better results you'll get. So spend time hanging out in this position. That's the duck walk.